So yeah, it's a vibe. Anyways, what I want to talk about is perception versus reality. And most people didn't even know that there's a difference. I used to be one of those people. I thought that reality was whatever I thought it was, like however I perceived things, however I viewed them, whatever my view was, I used to think that was reality. But little did I know that reality is actually looking at things and understanding them for what they are, not for what we believe them to be or what we see them as or as they appear to us, if that makes any sense. So, like, literally, we could have one perception about something, and the reality of it could be something totally different, and yet they're coexisting. So it's like two different things. And it is possible for people to live in truth, to see things for what they are all the time. And that's called living in realization, which means you're literally like transcending to the highest level of truth. And every moment that you live, you are taking it for what it is, not for what you want it to be, for what you see it as, or like what it might feel like. Whatever, like, feelings it gives to you, you don't take it as that. Just because it makes you feel good doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing or that it's something real. So this is how a lot of people make up fantasies, or they get delusional, or some people are so negative that they don't even attempt to do anything or just get all these panic attacks. But the best way to figure out if you are viewing things, for what they are, you have to check yourself, like double check. Like, when you used to do math and you would have to like check your work, you almost have to do that with your thoughts. Depending on how complex your brain is, you have to check yourself often. It's like checking your oil for your car, or taking your computer in to get an update. Humans, we're the same way. If you think about it, we're like an elaborate robot, but we're not really a robot, but technically robots want to be us, but we just have feelings. So it's one step further. We have a soul, so we're connected to the divine creator of all, right? That means that we have the ability and the power to do these things, to live a life in truth where we take things for what they are. We realize. And the best way to start living in realization is understanding, which comes from sympathy. And then once you have understanding, then you accept things. And when you start accepting things, you're accepting things for what they are rather than trying to change them or worry about them. So it's like like step by step. So let's take it from the top. First, you have to view things for what they are by being sympathetic towards others. That way, you can spend genuine time listening to what another has to say. When we're sympathetic towards somebody, we want to hear them out. We want to understand. So you have to be sympathetic. Then, since you're going to be sympathetic, you'll be paying attention, listening. Once we get that info, you're going to understand it from their point of view, from their perspective. You're going to step in their shoes. That's what sympathy is. Once you do that, then you're going to understand it. Then you're going to accept it because it's going to make a lot of sense. And then you'll be living your life in realization, and you do that with everything in life. Even if towards yourself, you have to be sympathetic towards yourself. That way you can understand why you're doing certain things. And then once you're living in realization, you can pinpoint when your behaviors aren't so healthy, and you can even change that. You can get that good. So, as I was saying, humans are better than robots, but in a sense, we are like a machine, but a very delicate but strong, intricate piece of machine. And we have to take care of ourselves, but especially our mind. And if you're happy, that's good. But you have to make sure that you're not hurting other people to be happy or being oblivious to their feelings. Because sometimes when a person is confused, they're oblivious to other people's feelings. So that's why other people should not try to confuse, anybody. So you can't be a person that's giving mixed signals and then getting upset when the person you're giving mixed signals to is reacting a certain way. You know what I mean? So yeah, we gotta use common sense, which we already know there isn't a lot of that, but we can train our brain to have some and retain that by just being aware of it. So let's have common sense, let's have sympathy, and let's correct ourselves when we find out that there's something better. Sometimes people find out that they've been effing up this whole time, or hey, there's a better way, and they still don't change because it's more comfortable for them to stay in their current state of mind or position. Even if they're freaking miserable, they still do it. Now, that's a machine that is fucked up and needs a lot of tuning. So, just like the most effed up human can be fixed by spending more time, it's like an old ass car that you can just fix over time. So hopefully that makes sense and it gives you more motivation. Like, if you can fix things, we can fix ourselves. Look at me, I'm doing ponytails now. Who would have thought? All right, so I'm gonna sign off because I'll be rambling. By rambling, I mean dripping knowledge all night. However, I gotta focus on other things than just telling y'all the information that I know, because I have a lot of things I need to do in my life, but I get so distracted by my thoughts all the time. Yeah, I think I have a problem with that. But then I thought maybe I'm just an overthinker who overanalyzes, but only to get the actual answers, and then I'd share them with you guys. But then I realized I'm really emotional, like from one extreme to the next. When I'm happy, I'm really happy. And when I'm sad, I get really sad. So it might throw other people off a little bit. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. So let's get into that. I am a person that's extremely passionate, and I know there are others like me. And no, I'm not saying passionate as in like code word for crazy girl or anything. No, of course, women are emotional. We're not crazy. So I will never claim that. There are some people that are lunatics, but we're not talking about that today. So all I'm saying is that women are not crazy just because they're emotional. But there is a different type of emotion, which is passion. And passionate people are just really expressive and almost like animated. So when they're happy, they're like giggling and maybe like, singing their favorite song and just, extremely visual. But then when they're sad, they might be crying. When they're angry, they may be like huffing and puffing. So that's passion. It's like a lot of it. So with me, I'm hella fucking passionate all the time. So with my words especially. And I realize that certain people get very, I don't know, they get like scared or something with certain words. What's up with that? So is that me or is that the people? See, that's still something I'm not sure, but I do know that I am extremely passionate. I will use a bunch of words that people might get a little thinking like, oh my God, like she's about to explode. But no, like my words are just steep. But I wouldn't actually go out and do something crazy like, I don't know, like go chase somebody down or something. But when I speak, it sounds like, this girl would freaking climb a ladder just to get this shit done. But no, I believe in manifestation and law of attraction. So that's why my words are powerful, because by me just expressing certain things, things get handled. So there it is. All right. We figured it out. But to everybody that's passionate, stay passionate, but be mindful of other people's feelings. Yeah. So be sympathetic and put yourself in their shoes and be a little mindful. Be respectful. Don't hurt other people. Even if, oh yeah, this was the other point. Just because I'm okay with something, or if I think something is funny, or if I think something is low, or just, like not a big deal, doesn't mean that the next person thinks that. So if it's somebody that's associated with me and if I have to deal with them, then I also need to be considerate of how my actions or reactions make them feel, no matter how insignificant it might be to me. So if it's making the other person cry, or if it's making them uncomfortable, like a certain joke, I don't need to say it. Or if something, like if I do something and I know it's about to piss this person off and I'm just like, yo, this is just me. But as soon as I know about it, and if I care about this person, I have to make adjustments. So that's all I'm saying. We shouldn't be assholes when we care about people, even if they're assholes to us. Because if you're a good person, you have to be a good person all the time. I'm going to practice that more. But yeah, because I am a good person. Sometimes I feel like I just want to be a bitch to certain people. Like my mom. I love her so much. Or just like other people that have been really mean to me. And then when it comes down to it, I realize that I can't do that. For what? Why would I stoop to that level? But now if they're in my face disrespecting me, even then, I think I would probably just turn around and walk away, because these days, I just see right through so much shit. It's like, why even bother? I'm trying to freaking do other things, like learn how to draw a person. Yeah, people are really people are really hard to draw. Okay. I think the light is throwing me off, or maybe it's my ponytail, because I just love it so much. All right, you guys. So hopefully I made some sense about the whole perception versus reality. So yeah, just because we view something a certain way doesn't mean that that's the reality of it. So we got to fact check ourselves and our realities. And this doesn't mean you have to go ask the next person, like, oh, is this true? Is that true? Or what does it seem like to you? No, that's the second mistake people make. They doubt themselves and they want to check themselves, so they go ask the next person. That's a big, huge mistake. It's an error. And life is freaking filled with errors. So our job is to minimize the errors. And we do that by not involving every fucking body. Yeah, we can't be calling people every time we have a question. We need to find the answer within ourselves by testing ourselves and like teaching ourselves things. Motherfuckers don't trust themselves because they're like, yo, I don't even know shit. I barely know how to work fucking Snapchat. So how am I going to work my life? That's what I'm saying. So don't have that mind frame anymore. You can do this, and you can do it by paying attention and listening to my little videos. And that's why I'm keeping them short now, and I'm keeping them straight to the fucking point. All right. So live in the reality and fantasize later. But when it comes down to the world, live in realization. All right. Bye, you guys.